Hello and welcome to Guilds of Ravnica draft. Really liking the format so far. Let's see what we open up here. Not a very exciting pack. So what are some options? It's a guild mage, but it is a guild card. There isn't much here. 7 strands isn't very good. The spear is also not too good. Gird for battle is decent in Boros. Playable sometimes in some builds of Selesnya. The rare is just very okay bear. Hmm. I think there's also the Izzet Locket, but people haven't been too high on Izzet, so not sure here what to pick. The boar is good, but the 4-drop slot is kind of crowded. I'm gonna just take Bounty Agency, where it takes us from here. Okay, Citywide Bust is kind of interesting in a Boros deck. Wojciech Bodyguard isn't that exciting, but some of these packs haven't been great. There's also the Burglar Rat, which does not go with our first pick, but I really like it. So what's it gonna be? I think it's basically between the Bust or the Rat. I think let's go for the Bust. It can lead to some aggressive starts. Now, here we have a third pick Healer Hawk, which could be a bit of a sign. And other than that, there isn't much here. The Siege Worm is actually, scratch that, Siege Worm is very good. And we're still not committed at all. Siege Worm is definitely better than Healer's Hawk in a vacuum. But, oh, no, totally, I just totally did not see Luminous Bonds. Yeah, it's just very easy Luminous Bonds. So here again, black seems to be lingering on, but Orzhov isn't supported. So there's also Dimir Guildgate, but the motion is very powerful in Boros. I think it might be the pick here. Other options. Dimir does seem open with a late Darkblade agent, but I think we can just take the motion here. Red has been very cut, and that is a bit of a problem if we want to go Boros, which is what we're aiming at right now with our picks. So a bit of a slow card. We have the Gatekeeper Gargoyle, but I think we'll just take the Mentor here. Again, you see some red, but it's very much filler level red. So here we have either the 10th District Guard as a below rate 2-drop, or the Crushing Canopy, which is a very powerful sideboard card. Boros isn't very interested in its locket, in my opinion. So we're getting kind of awkward here because white seems to be open, but red, at least right now, doesn't feel too open. I think we can take either the Rage or the Guard. I mean, the Guard is so bad. I'm sure we can find other 2-drops. So here we have a Boros Guildgate, a bad 2-drop, and the Boar. The Boar is fine at this point, but I think we can take the Guildgate here. Oh, nice. Late Healer's Hawk, we'll take it. It's our first Hawk since we picked the Luminous Bonds back there. So here we wheel some stuff. We have the Gird, mostly the Gird, I think. It's very good with Mentor creatures, can enable attacks. The board is also nice, but we'll go with Gird. Torch Courier is very bad, in my opinion, but there isn't much in other colors. I think I'm gonna just speculate on the Burglar. I It's either Burglar Rat or the Renewal. I mean, we aren't very likely to play black at all. I think we can take the Renewal in case we see reason to be Selesnya. So the Street Riot is super bad, right? Just not impactful enough. This can stay on the sideboard, or if we are scraping for playables, not much here. Take the Asian. Maximize velocity. I just think it's stun unplayable in Boros. Okay. And I'm fine getting this to drop last pick. So here we have Lazav as a rare. Very off from what we're doing, but powerful, and Demir is very, very open. But for other options, we have the Parhelion Patrol and the Unicorn. We might even be in. Nah, we're not interested in the New Giant at all. I think we're gonna go with the Unicorn here. I mean, white is fairly open. I don't think Lazav is insane. I mean, we can't abandon all our pack 1 cards, so we'll see. Okay, now the most powerful card here is the Indrik. But Luminous Bonds is just a little bit worse, and it doesn't make us speculate on the second color. Also, green didn't seem particularly open. I'm glad you just play the bonds, it's very good. So here we have kind of an exciting pack. We have Color and the Parhelion and the Wojak. I think the Wojak is very good here. While red seems cut, we're still very much building a Boros deck, so let's pick up the Bodyguard. Here we have second Healer's Hawk or the Color of the Culprit. We have 2 removal spells and also the citywide bust for big dudes. So I think I'm gonna take the Healer's Hawk. Hopefully get more mentor cards to go with it. And here, combat tricks. Combat tricks are so good in Boros. They just enable attacks. Let us keep getting in there. So here we have nothing, like literal nothing. We could either take the Torch Courier, but we already have three 1-drops, 3 1-drop creatures. So it's either the Vigil or the Guardian. So this is very bad, but the Guardian also does so little in our deck. We could take it as filler, like a 3-drop, like a very bad 3-drop. I really don't want to play 2 Candlelight Vigils. Not even 1, to be honest. Here, it's just very easy Legionnaire. I do like the Pack Beast. It's the top end that I want in Boros, but the Legionnaire is just very, very good. Here we have 2 options. We have the Hammer Dropper and the Color of the Culprit. Hammer Dropper has been very scary, like on the other side of the battlefield. I wouldn't think too much of it, but it has performed so well for my opponents. Kind of want to try it out here. I think it's going to be good. Here we have Fine 2-drop. Overperforms in my opinion. It just gets rid of the 1/1 lifelink tokens, but Wojak Bodyguard is just very, very powerful. Fire Urchin can pick up mentor triggers and goes well with combat tricks. Very nice to wield the color here. We'll for sure play it. We don't have enough gates for the Sergeant, but we'll pick it up here. If we pick up 3, like 2 to 3 more guild gates, we might play it, but not too excited about it. Here we can either take the Contraband or the Courier. Both are very bad, but maybe we do want some answers for enchantments and artifacts. Here another 2 bad cards. I guess we'll take the courier. Though, again, don't want to play it. Oh, nice. Here we have kind of an insane pack. For us, the pick is clear, but it has just 4 insane cards. The Cavalier, in my opinion, is at the moment the best of its uncommon cycle. But yeah, here I'm just glad to take expensive Lightning Helix. Also, the combat track is quite good. Here we have one of the best 1-drops and a good sideboard card for the mirror. But yeah, we're just gonna pick the 1-drop and we can already cut a courier. Here we have the Guild Gate and a Mentor. Here I'm gonna take a look at our curve and see how we're doing here. All our 3-drops are quite good. And the Blade Instructor does need a bit of support to get it going. I kind of noticed that we're lacking in 2-drops at the moment. So we'll keep an eye out for that. But our mana costs aren't too demanding, so we might not even want, like, if we might not need to prioritize the gate. So what are we doing here, really? I think it's still the Mentor, probably. 3-power Mentor is a fine pick, I believe. Hopefully we can wheel the gate. Oh, here we have so many cards that we wish we could pick. The Guild Mage and the Blaze. The Blaze is so very, very good. It's like the best top end possible for the deck, in my opinion. It's just the option of going to the face is just too much damage. But the Guild Mage is very powerful and it supplants our 2-drop slot. Speaking of 2-drops, we have probably the best 2-drop in the deck, in the form of Boros Challenger. We'll pick it over some mediocre cards here. Again, more 2-drops. We could trade the Locksmith for any of these. So here we have the Fresh Face Recruit, which is good early game, great early game, and the Scout, which can chip in for damage late game. I think I'm gonna go with the Recruit over it. And again, our mana costs aren't too demanding, so I don't think it's the end of the world if we end up with just 1 gate. So here we have a possible 3rd Wojak Bodyguard or the Hammer Dropper. So yeah, we're gonna cut the Ledev Guardian for sure. What else? I think we can either play Color or the Bust. The Bust seems insane, it just does not hit any of our creatures, so I think we can start with the Color on the sideboard. We don't want to have it stranded on our hands. So also cut a Torch Courier. We're down to 24 cards plus the Guild Gate. Yeah, I think for curve purposes, we're very fine on the 3-drops. We could trade the Bodyguard for the Instructor, but I think that's a very minor upgrade, so we'll pick up the 4-drop here. And we wheel the Guild Gate, very glad about it. What else do we have? Not much at all here. We have only 1 Candlelight Vigil, which is a good sideboard card to have versus decks with absolutely no removal, but I'll take the Gravitic Punch. Is it Guild Gate? We're not splashing blue here. So, Restore for the sideboard versus Boros. Another Guild Gate. 3 is exactly the amount I want in Boros. So let's count our 2-drops here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have 6 2-drop creatures. I think we might want the 3rd Bodyguard. Oh wait, we can. Yeah, I'd rather just replace the Locksmith for the Ordinary. It's a minor upgrade, but I don't think we're playing the 3rd. It's either trading instructor for locksmith, or instructor for bodyguard, or locksmith for ornery. Both very minor upgrades, really. I will take ornery goblin. Just does well in combat. Another locksmith. Nothing and nothing. Okay, nice. So that was the drafting portion. We'll see what we have here. We have nothing above 5 and a lot of guild gates, so I'm very comfortable playing 16 land in this deck. I think that's gonna be a very good call. So what else? We have 2 double white cards, so yeah, we're running 1 extra plane. And we have only 1 cut to make. We could play the color of the culprit. We'll see. What else? The Gird is looking good in my opinion. Maniacal Rage might be a bit too much. I don't think we need to go that all in game 1. So, what else? Oh wow, the split cards look kind of weird. Okay. We'll just put Botter's Challenge Reader. And also, so what are we doing here? We have one cut to make. I think we're so low curve, I don't mind having the color in the deck. So our 1 drops are fine. Our 2 drops are also fine. Also, this kind of counts as a 4 drop. I think we can. Yeah, I think we're gonna run the color sideboard for now. It's either that or Gird for battle, but I'm fine with it at the moment. Also, we could run the Sergeant, but even with 3 guild gates, I'm not too excited for it as a 2 drop, as a 5 drop. So yeah, I think the deck's looking good here. So